passion is so important is because it gives us energy. It creates change and movement. It creates a positive environment. It ignites others. It drives vision. It increases influence. And lastly, it brings the opportunity for your success to come out of you. Today, I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can cultivate this passion within you. First, we are going to talk about the P. P not just for passion, but P for perspective. First, you must recognize that passion does exist and you can create it within your daily living. It doesn't have to be something that you just read about authors having or actors having. It can happen for us. We can have passion a part of our everyday, but first we must recognize that it is possible. So our perspective must be that I believe I will find passion. And when you believe that you will find passion, you certainly will be more attracted to the things that create joy for you daily. You'll become more aware of them. Secondly, is M. M is charging you to become a metal detector. When you are a metal detector, you are looking for the gold and not necessarily the scrap metal. So I want you to recognize in your life, what are the things that pop out and are shiny and make the buzzer go off versus the things that maybe just lead you on a wild goose chase. I have a funny story of this. When I was, my summer job, I was able to be a therapeutic adventure camper, I guess you would call it. It was a 3-month camping experience where I'd go into the northern woods of Wisconsin, and I was able to go out there with boys that were at risk, and I would be able to put on therapeutic interventions with them while also camping and being under the stars and the rain and all of the other elements of weather. However, I thought, this is going to be the perfect job. I love being outside. I love hiking. I love being amongst nature and the unpredictability of it. Until I had to work in it for 3 to 4 days straight and keep track of my papers and keep track of all of the things that I needed to do my job well. What that taught me is that I definitely was passionate about helping and working with teens and helping them see the best version of themselves, giving them strategies. However, just because I loved nature didn't necessarily mean that I needed to combine the two. So now I save the camping and the adventure for my weekends with my family and friends, and I'm fortunate enough to get to do the job that I love every day, which is working at a high school in a nice, comfortable office and having the teens come to me, and we get to work there in a safe environment. So I ask you, what are the daily parts of your day that create the joy, the peak experience for you? What gives you energy? And how can you cultivate more of that into your day? Number 3 is L. You're going to want to recognize at what level do you want to incorporate this passion? Do you want this to be leisure, for fun, or do you want to actually make a living out of it? The choice is yours, and there is no wrong or right answer. It is just what you feel most comfortable doing in your daily experience. Do you want to strive to make an income out of it? Or do you want to be able to just have it as a wonderful outlet that you are using after your day's work? We have 2 more. And the last, number 3, or number 4, is mutiny doesn't mean stop. So just because you have found this passion doesn't mean that it's always going to be easy. There's going to be more voices in your head that come in, and they're going to try to put on the brakes for you. And you don't want the brakes to have to come on. You don't want to have to listen to those voices. You want to recognize that they're just part of the process. And just because they're saying, oh, you can't do it, or this is not going to be accepted in the world, doesn't mean that it's not the right path for you. And that's the interesting thing about people, is we all get our own whispers. What is whispering to Doug might not be whispering to David, and so forth. And so that's why it's so important to pause yourself when that time comes, when we feel like we're being scrutinized. We must pause and recognize, what is the whisper telling me to do? What is activating my joy today? And not necessarily look externally, but create the calm to look internally and to listen. And lastly, number 5, we must be brave. Bravery is what is going to make this passion come alive for you. It's going to make it become real and not just something we talk about or hear, find your passion. No, today is about living your passion. And it's by doing it little or big. Either way, it's just about cultivating that experience and that feeling into your life more often. We must be brave and courageous enough to listen to that whisper. So I ask you, Anne-Marie, what is your whisper? Teaching cooking. And Anne-Marie, how have you incorporated this passion into your life?
I teach classes now and then.
Awesome. And when you teach those classes, Anne-Marie, how do you feel?
Happy.
Happy? What was the drive that made you start to teach these classes?
Oh, good, you guys get to see me cry again. Sorry, my mom.
And how did your mom inspire you?
You know, it's very much everything you just said. When my mom let us help her, when I went to cooking classes that my mom was teaching, it whispered to me, it was the itch that confirmed. It was all of those things that it just makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to create. It makes me feel good to help other people have what I would say success in the kitchen, because that's, I hate to hear people say, I can't do that. I don't. And it's the one thing I can't help someone fly a plane, but I can help someone make a successful meal.
Which is at the same level of importance, I think.
Way better.
Exactly. The senses that food brings out is just wonderful. Thank you. All right. David, what is a passion for you?
Well, I was hoping you'd help me work that out. We could brainstorm about that, about what my passion is. I like brainstorming things, ideas about what would be creative and new, and what might make the world a better place. I just love brainstorming about any topic.
How do you incorporate that into your day?
Well, I
or
don't.
How could you incorporate that into your day?
Let's brainstorm that. I could do that. I do want more venues that I can go to where I could exercise this passion, more people to share it with, because that's really what it's all about to me, that interplay of getting on the same level with somebody else.
Making that connection.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Scripture says, I will instruct you and teach you the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. I encourage you to trust the prompts. These are going to be your inspired actions, and they will lead you to your passion and your purpose. So if you want more energy, creativity, and drive, then don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive, and do more of that, because what the world really needs is people who have come alive. Thank you so much.
I don't know about you, but that was inspiring for me. So I